You well?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
Just listen. I'm doing from my desktop. So is it okay?
Yeah, it's perfect. You're looking fitter than ever.
I just came back from mountain, man.
Yeah. I'll keep you fit. So obviously, what I'll do is I'm going to do this. We've got a new podcast coming out
Mhm,
called the Make It Happen Mindset, and I
mhm.
couldn't think of a better person to kick off the new season than you. So, and also massive congratulations on your MBE. That's amazing. Obviously
Uh,
what you've done and the fact that you've been recognised for it is absolutely fantastic. So, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
So, obviously, the last time we met was just after you returned back from Everest, which
Yeah, yeah.
obviously was an amazing. It was amazing to meet you in person, and it was an amazing achievement, not just for you, but for what you've done for other people as well by achieving that. And then obviously since then you've climbed Mont Blanc, Kilimanjaro, and you've now just done Denali, leaving I think is it three or four more that you've done the full seven.
Yeah,
So
I got a three more left. Yes,
that's
yeah, four more
crazy.
done. Four
That's
done.
absolutely crazy. So if it just get, I just got a few questions here. I thought I'd go through them with you. By all means, like, make any, add anything in, and so on.
Mhm.
So your journey to Denali, how did you prepare for that? Especially considering the unique challenges that it presents compared to the other peaks. And
Mhm.
can you let me know some of the more challenging moments that you faced during that climb and how you and your team overcame them?
Uh, yeah, I think Denali was different to the Everest, especially challenge-wise. There couple of things were so one thing is we must use the US company. That was challenge. When we walk, we have to walk on the rope. We can't to walk minimum of we have to walk. Three of us have to walk. We had to use the snowshoes and all the we have to pull the sleighs. I didn't pull, but the whole my team pulled. But also um, on Everest, it's like a camps are set up and just you just go and stay there. But on Denali and the camps, we have to carry all the gears ourselves. We need to take that one to the camp, set the camp. Before you go, we dismantle, we carry it, and keep moving forward. So, but also that we can only able to carry certain amount of the kits, and also like even toilet wise that we have to put in a bucket and carry it around. So it was uniquely challenging, but also when you say Everest, I think possibly logistically, physically, it was really challenging. So let's say Everest was we were trying to put 6 camps maximum, or about 5. We didn't, so we had just had it 4 camps. But on Denali, total we set 7 camps.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So, but also it was mm, north, close to Arctic Circle. So there was no night.
Yeah.
At 12 o'clock at night, you could see sun setting, and after a few minutes, is again sun coming back again. So there's no night at all. Two of my guys that who came from Nepal say they were complaining once with they left Nepal. They haven't seen the
Daylight.
night.
Instead of seeing daylight, they hadn't seen night. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
I just
also,
received a message that they just arrived in Kathmandu. So yeah, I think and it is cold. When sun is went, it is cold, but also lots of crevasses that you can't see in there, and we could see more crevasses, and it was melting, and you could see why at least 3 has to be on the rope. We
yeah.
realize that when you're coming down. So um, yeah, I think uniquely challenging. I think yeah, I think possibly after the hardest mountain, possibly it's Denali. I think it's still, like a Vincent's gonna be still cold and
Yeah.
that way. But they call it Vincent and mini Denali. So Vincent will still be really challenging. It would be cold. You can't leave like say your bare skin outside. Simply, you might get frozen.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But I mean,
So yeah, but yeah, it is unique. Yeah, definitely logistically challenging, team management. Yeah, but yeah, some ways I think we were lucky. We were there. We were supposed to be there 21 days a week, but we pulled over in 14 days.
wow. Okay, crazy.
So yeah, even like a couple of days early, nobody have submitted. Even on that day, on our summit day, it's only our team submitted. There was other two teams going up, but they gave up and came down. But we kept
Really?
it going.
Wow. So they
I,
didn't have your determination and make it happen mindset spirit.
yeah, yes, as well. Yeah, but I think I was relying on like my expedition leader Jangbu Sherpa. He was, born in Nepal but living in America. So he
Okay,
was he was very one of the very senior guide at Alpine Ascent, and he was just amazing. His leadership was amazing. He was very responsible. So yeah, I think without him this wouldn't be possible. So.
really. So obviously you mentioned life is all about adaptation. Did you have to adapt your climbing technique a lot, and did your prosthetics have to change compared to what you
Yes.
used previously?
Yes. I have to use more because it's cold. I was to use more on like those heating sockets. I never used the snowshoes, so I have to use the snowshoes and travel up to camp. It was our camp 5, but that was they call it 14,000 feet camp.
Wow.
So that crampon wise, we had a new crampons, which are much more reliable crampons. That, but also some of places, you know, it is quite tricky. Someone like, especially going to the wet buttress, there was like a rocky part we need to go through. We had to traverse from High Camp to Denali Pass. And yeah, they're like a hills called like a motorcycle hill, squirrel hill, pig hill. Yeah, those hills were quite, yeah, quite challenging as well. But on but on the summit day, because nobody went a couple of days to the summit, so we have to open completely the
Really?
track as well. So was quite tricky. On summit, on the when we were going to the, you know 18,500-meter camp, which is camp 7, our last camp, it was really windy at Denali Pass. It nearly blew us up. And also summit day, it was really windy. I think this is why the other teams gave up and came down. Some was
But do
doing
you
actually
think that,
second push.
your mental preparation and what you'd done previously was very important to the success of this climb? And was there anything that you did differently to prepare both mentally and physically compared to Everest?
Uh, I think definitely physically, I think it wasn't, let's say, challenging as a Everest, because we're doing like short, very short camps, and because guys has to carry lots of loads as well, and so we're doing like a very short camps comparing to Everest, like a 25 hours.
Yeah.
journey. So, but also because of it's cold, so we got mostly sun out before we left the camp. So the bottom down the glacier part, we went at night, and as we went from 11,000 camp, which is our camp 3, from there higher we went in the daytime. But I think summit day was like, I think mentally, I think it was tough. I wasn't I wasn't sure we were going to make it
Really.
until we get up to the like summit reach,
Yeah.
because um, weather forecast was like I say from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to about 3 o'clock. It was going to be slightly windy. It wasn't slightly windy, it's like really windy. Then it's supposed to die down from 3 o'clock, but it didn't really until 6 o'clock in the evening. It just didn't go down, just stay constant. It was white was we couldn't see longer than 10 meters. And our lead guide was using compass to navigate the route. And
But
sometimes she slightly opens the route and just see it and go and stop. So that was what we did. And until we went to the top of that big hill, which is the summit. And somewhere like like it's a sun appeared, and like I said,
it was like
hey,
God looking down on
we
you.
just praying, come on, son, you can do better.
Yeah.
Just everybody was like say, come on, get it better. We're cold, and just like, come on. And by the time we went there, just we gave a hope that weather is never gonna improve, because this is the weather on the mountain. Sometimes you expect one thing and it doesn't happen. So even it passed the 3 hours more, the weather wasn't improving, and we really, really hope that weather is gonna improve. We're just hoping it, after 3 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be maybe weather like this, but should we improve it? And just kept it going. And one point I realized maybe this is how it's gonna be, and maybe on the ridge it's gonna just blow us up. So maybe you couldn't able to make it. So later, once we went to Peak Hill, just weather slightly, it's like a sort of symptoms that wind slowly start dying, and you see the like in the cloudy, like a sunlight, like a really dim. And so that's they're slightly opening. And then by the time we went to the summit, it was slightly windy, but could able to take a picture. And yeah, it was just like my like everybody's like nose was frozen, like my mustache were like a frozen, like my so wherever you can like breathe the air, like it just got
Freezing.
frozen.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
yeah, but on the as we went to propose the summit, it got better. I didn't think that it was going to happen that way, and I didn't know, you know, until we were like halfway up that summit is. Um, I didn't think that I wasn't sure that we were gonna make it.
Really. Okay.
Mm.
And then the heavens opened and helped you make it happen, I guess.
Yeah, we submitted around 7:30 in the evening.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Wow.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
it sounds to me like the whole team was very important to you. Was it a different team to the one you've worked with previously?
Two of my team members who climbed Everest, who stayed last, I brought them to Denali. It was very expensive to bring them, but I think it was worth it. And the other teams were, yeah. So even my expedition leader was a new one, and I didn't know. You know, I trained a little bit in Baker in March, uh, but I didn't know much about him. So, but he was just amazing. I think he was absolutely amazing. And I think some ways in his mind was he was going to take me to the summit. I think that was, I think, pretty much his mindset. And from day one, he walked like that. He wasn't lazy. He was just leading, carrying a loads. I think he was doing uh, way much more hard work than any other in the team member. So yeah, he so yeah, they, they took me to the summit.
That's, yeah, I mean, teams are so important to success. So obviously, technically, you said that you were now doing snowshoeing. Um, can you describe how that was different, and also how did you go about mastering that skill, and what specific gear and adaptations you had to make, for this particular climb?
So the snowshoes are simply, the feet are quite small. Like say, if you put a crampons on, they're just gonna sink in deep snow, so in the soft snow. So that is mainly it has a base, a slightly bigger base that when you walk, it doesn't sink because the area of the snowshoes area is wider and longer. So that, but also that also helps. So at the back, it has a good kind of hill raiser, so you can put like a hill raiser, and that really helped me to going uphill. Some of the like a really steep hill, like a motorcycle hill and squirrel hills, I went through that, through with the hill raiser. And but also it uses slightly different muscle groups. And normally if I just straight up, and all the pressure goes on my hip and just get tired. And you can just bear that tiredness for certain time. So just using different muscle group was great. But also it gave me stability as well, because I'm not very stable. My knees are not very stable. So with a bigger platform, it gave me stability. Actually, I never thought that until I went to train on Baker in March. I didn't know that. I never seen the snowshoes. I've seen the people working in the television, but never seen it like so physically. So I use it. But yeah, it did work. So I think that was I think one of the biggest adaptation that we had to make. But other things are like we used like a similar Everest techniques that like say some of like in steep slopes. The guys were at the front of me with the rope, so they just give me a nudge. And those we had to go through the fixed line as well. On the fixed line, it's like a pretty easy. I can go it with the ascender and Isaacs.
You also mentioned obviously the fact that there was no nighttime. What other kind of weather challenges did you face on Denali that were unique, and how did you cope with them? Particularly, I guess, in terms of managing your energy, and are there any kind of other unpredictable elements that kind of threw you and your team?
One was cold. Um, Once, even let's say if you like say having a bear like say skin and sitting inside even the tent, sometimes it was cold. Sometimes that was cold. So that's one thing. Another thing was wind and like what was, like say you can't see, especially the summit day, the wind, and that was you can't see anywhere. So simply what you're doing is just
Head
head
down.
down and just put one step at a time. I think it was like I think if it wasn't windy, then it would be okay to going that you don't see much. So you just simply just keep it going. but I think it was windy. So yeah, it was cold, and like say two of my fingers, they were
Mm.
really cold. So I was just I was working with the pole sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes ice, and like a tip of my so I'm most of time like simply walking, like crawling, right, just
Yeah.
on my four limbs. So these they were down. That means like my gloves were like frozen on the tip, and they're
Wow.
rattled they're like iced, so they can, when you do that, they just they're just rattled. And I wore inner gloves, and
Yeah.
wear another gloves on the top. And two of my fingers were like uh, I felt really cold one point. So I was just doing like this, just doing
Maintain the
this,
circulation.
yeah, just doing like this ones, and sometimes just do this, did this, and yeah, just trying to keep moving. When you just keep it moving, I can't afford to lose money. so, so I did that, and luckily, nobody had any kind of injuries apart from one of our team guide. He, when he went to the toilet, he slipped and banged his head on in the
Oh no.
ice. So we had to rescue him. The park ranger doctor, they didn't allow him to go up. So
Wow.
yeah, we had to rescue him. Luckily, he's fine. He just a little
Yeah.
nose of his head. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Safety first. Safety first.
Yeah.
So obviously, you got to the summit. How did that feel or compare to Everest or Mont Blanc or Kilimanjaro? Are all of them very unique experiences, or would you say one's been better than the other so far?
Um, I think it's slightly kind of different. I still got emotional, and Jangbul, who's expedition leader, he said, "Okay, don't make me cry." So he said that. Yeah, yeah, I think the one thing is, uh, until we get that like halfway of the ridge line, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I wasn't sure that we could able to make it.
Really?
So yeah, that was quite emotional moment on the top. uh but other than the good was the weather was seems okay, so we had some few nice pictures, and came down. On Everest, Everest was like a really windy, and we freezing, we running out of oxygen, so we didn't, apart from some like evidential footage, we didn't take much
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, Denali was, I think, uh, great, amazing. I think some ways we pulled it over. It's a very tricky mountain. It's just long walk. I think actually you can land a heli on the summit of Denali. I think, but I think apart from emergency, you can't take any motorized machines on
Yeah.
Denali. That's the park rangers rules. So I think they made it, I think, mm, more adventurous. And it's middle of nowhere, like a mountain is like a beautiful, just just once you go a bit higher up, and the mountains get, the climbing tallest mountain in these continents is as you go higher, other mountains getting smaller
Lower.
and smaller. um, and Mount Foraker and Mount Hunter, which is another big mountains, and they're just getting lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I was quite surprised that we finished early, but also we made it successful when other people gave up and came down.
Yeah, well, that's obviously part of your, make it happen spirit and your mindset that that separates you from so many other people. But also, what was your kind of reaction to getting the MBE and for your efforts in kind of raising awareness and everything else? Was that completely unexpected? How did that kind of come about?
Um, I think that is just getting recognized. It's just, I think it's great, amazing feeling. And lots of time I ask question, myself on the mountain, and because it's hard, right? It's hard leaving your family,
Mm,
spending lots of money, and also working so hard and
mm.
getting up there. Sometimes, like, am I doing the right thing? And I think um, maybe it kind of proved that I think I'm doing right thing.
100%,
Maybe it's just,
100%.
yeah. Yes, and uh, I kind of sense that some of people were sending recommendations for that, so I kind of do that possibly, but I never worked for, like, honors and awards,
Yes.
and lots of honors and awards that I have received now. I never even knew them.
I didn't even you
So
didn't even know they
uh,
existed, hey?
yeah, and actually, I did press conference at cabinet office about we are five people
Mm.
from, I think, about 1077 or 76 people honored on King's birthday honor, and five of us were invited at cabinet office to do the press conference. And I did press conference in the morning, and from there I went to Heathrow Airport and flew for Denali.
Really?
So
The really crazy day for sure.
I think I think this is a great boost, moral
Yeah,
boost for
yeah, yeah.
me. But when but however you boosted, on the mountain when you're going there, and just the weather is not improving, simply, right, you are gambling. I think altogether maybe spend about 120,000 US dollar for that, and you gambling that one on the mostly on the weather, you
Yes.
know. And
Right.
sometimes I feel it's like a crazy. Now, again, I ask my question: am I doing the right thing? And some say, yeah, I just say, yeah, I, lots of things out of my hand,
Yeah.
and I'll do everything I can to make that happen. I'll do my best. That's what I can do, and I'll
Yes.
try as much, whatever I can to make that happen. But again, safety is always the first. My summit success shouldn't be important than someone's life,
Correct.
and um, but other thing is we do everything we can. Even the second day we are going up. So we normally travel in two ropes. So and from when you go like higher than like a camp 14, you can there's not much crevasse, so you can travel at least as long as you do that two, and then you can travel. So we sent two of the guides at the front, and I was we were in another rope behind them. So their job was to go at the front, set up the camp. So whenever we are there, then camp is ready. Normally on the Denali, this is why I had bit slightly more guides
Okay.
than than other people. So uh, make sure that we can able to travel in two groups so the guide can go. So and they went forward to us to set up the camp, but they says it's very windy and they're just coming back down, coming back down. And said weather should be improved, the winds should be improved. So um, we'll just keep it going. We can't go back down. And even you go back down, it's a long way go back down, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
also
You might as well keep going
because you're
forward.
yeah you're going you are aiming for next day summit day. So if you don't go to the next camp, there is you miss that
Yeah,
summit window. So even with a little bit more windy, as long as we have a safety, we can get up. If we get up there, then we have opportunity to go to summit tomorrow. And as we pass like traverse like um, autobahn, the autobahn, and when we like a three-quarter of the we crossed, the wind came in, and once we went, we passed them when they're coming back, and they followed us. uh, and they passed us and went to set up the camp. In life you need a little bit, little bit. You need to push it
yeah,
slightly
yeah,
to make that happen. If say, okay, let's go back down. One says, let's go back down and stop. You know, it's
yeah,
finished. Yeah, it's just
yeah,
so. And when we went to Denali Pass, it was really, really windy. So we put just some more clothes up, and we still need to travel about an hour for me to get to the next camp. And by the time we went, uh, these guys they set up the one tent, smaller tent some ways,
hmm
but they couldn't set up another bigger tent. And they just put it out and just holding like sitting up there, getting frozen. You can see like their face was frozen.
like those
Like every
monkeys that you
yeah,
get.
it's like frozen like this, sitting holding the tent down.
Oh my goodness.
And we went there, and other guys helped to set that one tent up. Yeah, after that, then we could push next day to
Yeah.
the state.
So obviously you've conquered Denali now. You've got three more peaks left. Um, how do you think you're going to prepare, if at all, differently for the next three versus the previous? And how do you kind of balance, obviously what you're doing, but against your advocacy work and also your personal life? Is this becoming easier, or is it something that you're still having to work really hard at getting that balance?
I think I'll try to get prepared, 100% as much as I can. But one thing kind of I realized was you never get prepared. Honestly, 100%. I wasn't prepared on Everest. I wasn't prepared on Denali. Uh, so I always, before Everest, I wanted always the best prosthetic legs, the crampons, the most comfortable way. And it wasn't, because lots of things is not just on your hand, it's out of other people's
Yeah.
hand, and they let you down in some ways. Physically, had I prepared as much as I can, I think physically I was fully prepared both for Everest and here. I disciplined myself. I didn't drink alcohol. I woke up early in the morning to go to the gym while I'm doing the other things. Like say for Denali, it was pretty much, we didn't have enough money. So I had to loan $30,000 to with my family and friends to complete that. I haven't paid them back yet. So that's what the first thing that I'll be kind of doing it
Yeah.
the next few days. Um, and like a kitchen, because we didn't have money, so we didn't have all the kitchen equipments. Some of kitchen equipment that we had in Alaska, yeah, just we did everything we can to prepare. But when you don't have money, you can't buy things, and yeah, that was a kind of hard thing. I really didn't sleep about a week when I was flying to Denali, and the a lot of sleep I had was when I went there. Um, so I think for next the couple of things I will try to prepare is make sure we have got kind of all the funds already in place so that we have got the right kit and equipments
Yeah.
to go. But also maybe more plan ahead. So this is why I think I was thinking to do Puncak Jaya before January, February time. But I think just I would just kind of try to leave that time to prepare more,
Mm.
and maybe just do the Aconcagua, prepare for Aconcagua right now, from now on to let's say December, and go to December to Argentina to do the Aconcagua. Then I think I have got a year, because Aconcagua and Vincent is the same season. So
Yeah.
if I had the money, I would do Vincent and come back to the Aconcagua and just complete it. But I think
Okay.
I don't have a money to doing that, so we need to raise fund for that. So I'll do Aconcagua maybe between the Vincent and Aconcagua. I think I will do Carlson Pyramid, which is the most cheapest one. So I can go any season as well, that one.
Okay.
And I think finish it with the Vincent. I think yeah, that's what
Go
I'll
out on a
probably.
big one.
And yes, and also I need good equipment for Vincent as well, like the clothings, like say sleeping bags, so many other things. And even you got a better sleeping bag, lighter sleeping bag, it makes life a lot easier. Having a good gloves, um, like jackets. Um, yeah,
And
it makes life much better when you feel confident. Even you going
yeah,
there, if you have a right kids, then you feel confident, and okay, I'm here, everything I have got. And but if you don't have some things, and you just can't say, I don't have this, what's gonna happen? It's like this.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, how important is nutrition then? Does that play a very key role in the preparation and during the expeditions as well?
Yeah, I think when you go to the mountain, is eat as much as you like. But I think I think it's quite important. Like say, if I eat too much and put more weight, um, my stomachs can fit in the sockets, uh,
Okay.
and it becomes tight. That makes me big another problem. And if I lose my weight as well, it get loose and my legs fall down. That's another problem. So it's very important to. I normally don't have like any routines like that. I eat these things,
Mm.
but make sure I look my health, especially my weight. I look at. And also, like I realize that if you're drinking alcohol, and that kind of uh affects the performance. And I'm 45 in of this month. And you kind of realize that, you are not, I'm not like, say, I'm like my early 20s, right?
Yes.
So I think I need to kind of consider those things, that yeah, uh, maybe possibly maybe you should help me, maybe
Yeah,
to advise me the nutrition, that what should I eat, what shouldn't I
that
eat.
would be an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
An absolute pleasure.
I kind of never planned that way, but I would love to do that, and that way I can make a habit. And when you make a habit, everything becomes easy. When you don't have a habit, then that's everything becomes very, very hard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. If you make something a habit, it's so much easier than trying to
yeah.
force things. So obviously, what keeps, talking about motivation and inspiration, obviously you're motivating so many other people, and you're definitely an inspiration to both, able-bodied as well as those with disabilities. What keeps you kind of continually pushing boundaries, and who and what inspires you to keep doing it, I guess?
Mainly is so I promised myself that I'll be making awareness of disability for rest of my life, because I don't think so. This is overnight. We can change things to overnight,
Mm,
and we have to dedicate for like a whole of our life, long term. Just keep doing it, even we like it or not, right? So
yeah.
sometimes, and we just keep it this going, and that's why I'm climbing 7 summits, to making awareness of disability in every continent as I travel, as I climb.
Mm,
So that is the main behind it. Mainly is to um, my little effort. So I think this is third time that I'm talking about that. I always ask question that, am I doing the right thing? And always came yes. This is why I just keep pushing. But also lots of things that make you accountable. Like my family makes accountable. I don't want to die, or something
mm,
happens, and I don't want to leave my 3 children and my wife. And that thing that make me accountable. It's also my teams that who make me accountable. It's
mm.
also the people that who supported me make me accountable. So I don't become reckless. I don't become, like a over like or whatever that is, and I don't
Mm.
want to be that. And also my sponsors, because I have to fulfill my responsibility. I never get pressurized from my sponsors, and but what I'm thinking is, I'm just not just me. I'm representing people with disability. I'm representing veterans. I'm representing Gurkhas. I'm representing Nepal. I'm representing United Kingdom. So those things make me accountable.
Yeah.
So I think so. I think they make me accountable. Yeah. As I said, I don't get pressurized. Only thing I can do is I become responsible and do everything I can to make them proud.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. So, in terms of, your kind of thoughts in terms of what you feel the experience the way that they've impacted you, and how you feel that that can help others. I mean, is it about the fact that you're showing people that you're not shouldn't be limited by your physical factors? Is it about overcoming things mentally? Is it a combination of those things? What's the kind of thing you'd want people to take away from what you've done to inspire them in their daily lives, do you think?
I think the most important thing is whatever we do, right? We have got the reason why. I
Mm,
think why is very, very important. Why word uh, itself is really, really important. Why you are doing something in life. And
mm,
I think if we have a goal, so if we have a goal, let's say for me is I want, mm, uh, this is not going to be overnight. So this is here ready for a long term. And
yeah,
also I kind of believe myself that I'm here in this world to not chill out. I'm here to make a difference in this world. I'm here to work harder. Work harder and give something back. So my aim is to making awareness of disability. That means everything what I do will be counted.
yeah,
Every moment what I'll do will be counted. So I'm talking to you, and hopefully someone with a disability, or a family of the disability, or authorities that who look after the disability, listening this, and maybe they apply whatever they're dealing with those particular people. So um, I think mainly is who are you. When you have a goal, Whatever that goal is how big is your reason why. That's the where it is. So the bigger your reason why is, the you can able to challenge the bigger things. If
Agreed.
we
Yeah.
have like a smaller, a bigger why, reason why, then I think it, the daily things. But I think that we need to have like a bigger reason why to challenge, so that we can challenge bigger than us. So if we have like say goal, then it's like a hope, it's like a optimism, it's like a roadmap of our life. And it doesn't really matter what we do, how big or small,
Mhm.
as long as we do something positive towards our life. Our life is like, say, something like in your background, you have lots of bricks, right?
Mm.
And our life is like made of like a bricks and mortar. So everything we do, we putting little bit of one brick and little bit of mortars, and every moment we doing, and just keep adding, and it become a house or building.
Yes.
So life is like that. So it doesn't really matter how big or small things we're doing, as long as we're doing towards the positive thing. I think that helps to build our life.
100%.
And also it's a goal. If you have a goal, it makes us to wake up early morning, even we are lazy. It makes accountable. And so it makes us to stay late in the evening. Uh, you know, um, it makes us to stay compromise with others or with yourself, whatever
Yeah.
that is. So yeah, if you don't have a goal, then you're just gonna just throw everything around and just bro stop.
Yeah.
But like say, if you have something goals, then you will be aware of your choosing the words that you talk,
Yeah.
or behaving certain ways. But also waking up early in the morning, staying late in the evening, or working hard at night or in daytime, whatever that is, I think is a goal. Goal is simply a hope and roadmap of our life. And if you have like a negative goals, it will put you down. So,
Yeah.
so energy, I think, in my view, we have got positive and negative energies. And let's say, for example, I go to one of my sponsors, and so they didn't sponsor me this year. So if I'm gonna just burst up and throw everything at them, and they're never gonna come back to me, uh, that will put a negative. So I'm close the door in that way. It's
Mm.
also like if I'm an employee. And I'm doing one job and I didn't get promoted, so I just brushed up everything, and okay, I don't want a job, I resigned it. And if I do that, then that will give me I think negative things.
Yeah.
Why not do it nice way, and just kind of thank you very much for the job. So I might come back again, but unfortunately I need to leave. You can say
Yeah.
that,
Absolutely.
right?
So
So
listen, on that note, you've obviously got a lot coming up. You do need support. How can people support you, whether that's brands or individuals? What's the best way for them to get in contact with you? Maybe get you that magic pair of gloves that's going to stop your fingers falling off. Um, what's the best way they can do that, Harry?
Um, so there's few ways they can help and support me. If they want to contact, then Hari Budamagar. All of my social media is Hari Budamagar, or my website is Hari Budamagar. And if they want to directly got involved and support, so I'm raising fund for my charity partners, and they can donate to them. Or there is a crowdfunder page that Seven Summit Clubs, then they can directly donate on there. So if they donate to Seven Summit Clubs, that goes directly to my expeditions
Yeah.
cost. If they give it to the charities, there's nothing to do with it. So it will, distribute it to equally to the five charities. So if
Okay,
they
so
got a
tell me
five,
a
give
bit
me
more about.
£5. Yeah.
Yeah, so the charities you're supporting, just for anybody that doesn't know,
There are BLESMA, which is British Limbless Association, On Course Foundation, Team Forces, Gorkha Welfare Trust, and Pilgrim Bandits. So they are all military charities who help me from my hospital bed to summit of pretty much every peak that I climbed.
yeah,
So I think something that I can give back, and they can help someone so that they'll be climbing their own mountains in their life.
absolutely, that's fantastic.